Hi, my name is John Pollard on behalf of Autodesk, and we're here at Autodesk University with two directors of Intel's data center group. I have Thor Sewell and John Hengeveld here with me. Thor is the director of Workstation Business Strategy, and John is the director of Technical Compute Marketing. And so we're just going to ask a number of questions of these two today. First one, why is a workstation essential for an Autodesk user?
Well, John, I think the first thing that we like to clarify, because people ask, what is a workstation in the first place? And I like to think of it in several ways. The first is that it's a branded and certified system from one of our OEM partners like HP, Dell, or Lenovo, or a system integrator or a reseller. The second thing is that it's application tuned, so it provides the highest application level performance. So the certification, the tuning that go into that system set it apart from other client systems. And then the third area that I like to think of it as is that it's used by an expert user to manipulate the data that's core to an organization, the digital assets that a manufacturing company, as an example, or a filmmaking company. All of those things that the expert user has that tool at their fingertips, and that's what defines a workstation. And so when we think about what sets it apart, the different pillars that we like to reference are that it provides rock-solid experience for that expert user. On the vector of performance, it provides that application-level performance that I mentioned. It provides a level of reliability, so that the time that's invested in that design is not lost through things like ECC memory is one example. And then it offers a level of stability that sets it apart from other clients. And that stability is through the form of testing and certification and tuning from the OEM or from our software partners like Autodesk. So really it's that technology tool that really sets it apart and why it's essential for that Autodesk user.
Mm-hmm. Intel works with the HPs and Dells and Lenovos of the world to build our Xeon 3000 and 5000 series processors in. And these processors give the very best of performance. They have a multi-core technology that allows them to run very, very complex computation efficiently, quickly, and reliably. And those capabilities really make a difference to a workstation for a professional user.
Great. So why do users need to revolutionize the way they are working?
Well, in today's environment, the kind of competitive situation that we're in and the pressure as economies have gone through the cycle that they've gone through, the essence of being as productive as possible, as providing or producing the most robust model or scene, or making the most compelling trade, or thinking of oil and gas, oil exploration. All of that has to be done as productively and as efficiently as possible. And in the global marketplace, certainly, there's the ramp of these emerging markets. All of these different expert users on a workstation makes it very compelling or competitive marketplace.
So let's talk a little bit about parallel thinking. So what is parallel thinking, and how will it help Autodesk users?
Well, Intel has been pursuing Moore's law, as we're all familiar, over several decades, and where we are today is really harnessing Moore's law into multi-core architectures that really enable the underlying hardware, the essence of the compute environment, to provide parallel computing. And so when it comes to parallel, whether it's a software being parallel or whether it's parallel workflow, all of that is enabled through that underlying hardware engine. And certainly that level of integration, the level of parallel work, can be done whether it's integrating various functionalities into one application, or whether it's applications working together, functions working together. As you know, Autodesk has been pursuing suites as a way of adding more integration and more productivity to their customers.
And even to some extent to teams working together, building off of the same compute resource, the same database of design, and leveraging that up into solutions more quickly for their business. That degree of parallelism also matters.
Great. So how can small and medium-sized businesses get started in digital prototyping?
Well, certainly what we have today is really transformative when you think about what a workstation offers. So you have two-processor workstations with Xeon-based processors in them that provide an unparalleled level of computing available at the fingertips of these users. So it's a familiar Windows environment in many cases, and that level of computational power can enable a small and medium business to do things like CAD and simulation and analysis, or CAD and simulation and rendering, all in one environment. They're really transformative to where they were just years ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk a little bit about just revolutionizing. This title is about revolutionizing the way people work. How is Intel revolutionizing the way that people work?
Well, certainly as we've continued to invest in our technologies that provide the computational foundation for these workstations, and work with Autodesk and our OEM partners to really bring together the right hardware and software solution, that's where that revolutionary opportunity exists. And the fact that no longer can the Autodesk software users be agnostic about what hardware they're using, because that capability of the hardware is foundational to their experience.
So one of the key things that's happening, I think, is that we're at the point where the cloud is reaching a degree of maturity and HPC capabilities are reaching a degree of maturity, that there's a continuum of compute that happens between the workstation, driven by the designer making his designs work in the workstation, but supporting it with analysis pulled from either adjacent compute available from a workstation, workstations on a network, or HPC clusters, or even from the cloud, so that the simulation and analysis, and for example in the media and entertainment case, rendering capability that you would need to work out a design actually becomes present to you at the workstation as supplemental resource. And so this technical compute continuum supporting the design initiatives of customers is an essential change that's happening now, really practically speaking, for the first time in such a dramatic way. So that revolution is happening, and Autodesk is leading the way with some of this, and Intel is providing the compute capability across that continuum to make it successful.
Excellent. Well, thank you both. Thank you, Thor. Thank you, John, for joining us here. Thank you for watching us here at Autodesk University, and we'll see you again next time.